Hello and welcome to Wealth of Patience. My name is Angad Gujral and my vision is to create a community of people who are passionate about building long-term wealth. In today's episode, I will be going over the dangers of MLMs and pyramid schemes. We live in a world where every business is kind of disguised as a pyramid scheme. I'll be talking about the dangers of pyramid schemes and how to watch out for them and make sure that we're not caught up in one. Let's get right into the episode. So, recently I got hit up by a company called Primerica, and you may or may not have heard of it, but it sells off as an insurance company, basically acting as a middleman between a corporation and a person. But Primerica basically hit me up, and the regional vice president of Primerica came up to me, and it's a multinational company, comes up to me and asks me to work for Primerica as an agent. And he said, through my LinkedIn messages, just slid into my LinkedIn messages, asked me if I would be interested in this opportunity, had a very specific way of writing out his messages on LinkedIn, and had a very specific way of putting across what he was trying to say. So he hit me up. He was like, Angad, I think you will be very good fit for this role, and I think you should come and work for this company. So I take a look at the company. It's publicly listed, so that increased my trust. It didn't seem too pushy. He was very like, if you're interested, let me know. And I attended a Zoom call with him. We talked about it. He made me watch a video. He made me book a meeting with him. Honestly, it didn't seem too suspicious, but I did see a couple of red flags. So I hopped on call with my dad. I told him about this opportunities. I told him, okay, Dad, what do you think about this? And my dad was like, Angad, be very cautious. My dad told me, since I told my dad that he was asking me for my SIN number and payment for a course for employment reasons, my dad was like, Angad, that's a very big red flag, and please don't meet with him online. Try to meet in person. Long story short, I told him, let's meet in the office. He gave me an address, told me to come Sunday, and then I flaked on him. I said, I'm sorry, but I told him straight on my message saying that cybercrime is on the rise and hence I would like to meet you in person. And then I later on flaked on him and said that I would like to refuse the opportunity. And that's because I realized that, okay, I am signing myself for a pyramid scheme. I had this again happen to me through Empire Wealth Management, another company. And I also had a company a while ago, a couple months ago, reach out to me trying to recruit me for the same thing. This is the third time this has happened to me within the span of 2 months maybe. This begs a trend. This shows how prevalent MLMs and pyramid schemes really are in this world. And it puts into perspective for me that anyone can fall victim to it. And obviously I didn't fall victim to it because I was very cautious. As someone who deals with finance and is around this a lot, I'm very cautious with any type of monetary. Anytime someone's asking for money or anytime someone's asking for money in exchange for something, I get very cautious about that. So, long story short, it seemed interesting for me to pique my curiosity. And honestly, I wanted to take my podcast studio to his office and invite him and have him as a guest to have him talk about his MLM or pyramid scheme. And it was quite an interesting episode. Long story short, all I really got out of it was, don't trust people when they're telling you become your own boss. That's a big one. If these are signs for you to know that you're falling for an MLM. If someone comes up to you and is like, do you want to become your own boss? That's a very big red flag right there. Or if someone comes up to you and tells you, hi, I would like to pay up front for a course to be an employee, that's another red flag. Or if someone has a company that sounds like a weird name, so I had Empire Wealth Management, that is a red flag. Any of these companies or any of these types of companies come up to you, it is a very good chance that it's an MLM. And I would highly, highly suggest not falling victim for these companies and to instead do your own research. Pyramid schemes are on the rise lately, and like it's all over the news, all over news articles, and there's a lot of feedback about the dangers of MLM. So it's very important for you to watch out for some of the signs and really, really do your own research to see whether a company really is a legit company or is an MLM. Another thing I couldn't understand is what their business model was. I asked them multiple times what their business model was, and obviously they gave me some sort of an incentive, but I didn't fully understand what the MLM business model was. And the issue with that is, if I don't really understand what it is, then that is a high chance that they're getting money from recruiting other people. And the whole way MLM starts versus a normal company is in an MLM, the top 1% gets rich and everybody else gets rich by recruiting other people. If you get money by recruiting other employees rather than selling an actual product or service, then that is an issue in itself. If you have distributors who recruit and your goal is to recruit other people into the thing, then that's an issue. Because in a traditional company, unless you're working for HR, your job isn't to recruit other people into the company, or unless you're recruiting for your team. Your job is to focus on your task. If your whole goal or whole job is to have other people join it and especially pay a fee to join it, that in itself is a very big red flag that you're signing yourself up for a pyramid scheme or an MLM. One of my close friends about a year and a half ago also fell for this, and she was selling some sort of beauty products, I believe, where she was trying to sell products to her friends and family. And the issue is a lot of people are very unsuspecting, so they don't even realize that they are falling for an MLM until it's too late already. And by that time, they've already either lost money, either their own money or lost someone else's money, and potentially ruined the friendship. So it is very important to be mindful of companies. If someone's messaging you on social media, whether it's Facebook, LinkedIn, trying to tell you to be your own boss or get rich quick or any kind of marketing scheme like that, it's a very good chance that they're running some sort of pyramid scheme or MLM. And I would advise you to be very cautious against that. Use your own judgment, do your own diligence. Again, another red flag. This was for the second company, Empire Wealth Management. I asked the guy, okay, can you send me the details about the company? He told me it was linked to TransCanada or some big multinational company, and I told him, okay, how do I know you are linked to that? Can you show me company documents? So then he showed me a website where it said TransCanada is affiliated with it. But I said, okay, it's there on your side, but can I see a TransCanada document? Or anything like from their end, not from your end. Because I can say, okay, I'm affiliated with Apple Inc., but that doesn't mean anything. I need to see a document from Apple Incorporated saying that I am a subsidiary for that. So yeah, I asked him for that. He was like, we could hop on a call and I'll give you more details. I said, okay, I'm sorry, I'm not interested anymore. It was pretty good signs. The good thing with both of those people were they were not very persistent. So I think they understood that if I was smart enough to point out that cybercrime is on the rise, then that means that I probably would not fall for their multi-level marketing scheme or pyramid scheme. And I also told them that I have a finance background, I'm studying commerce, like I'm into this, I understand what's going on. So I'm really glad that I wasn't scammed or wasn't fished out of any money. But I also feel very bad for people who are and who aren't able to catch on to this. And I think it is very important as individuals to do your own research and really look into what you're signing yourself up for. Specifically if you haven't applied for something and someone's reaching out to you and that's not through a network or a connection. If there's a random message, that's it for me. Please be cautious. It's a scary world out there. When it comes to finances, protect your pockets and understand that building wealth takes time. And if there's a deal that's out there that's too good to be true, it probably is. And I would advise you to be very cautious about that. That's it for me. Thank you for listening. Bye bye. And I'll see you in the next episode.